Stream. All right, so Jane, I think we're all set. If you ready?
Great. Thank you, Karen. I would like,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to welcome everybody to the first planning board meeting for the Village of Fayetteville in the year of 2022. Please know that we are recording this session. We don't have a heavy agenda tonight. We actually have a very light agenda tonight. So why don't we get started? The one and only item, the first application on our agenda tonight is a site plan application submitted by Dr. Marcia Ziegler Alexander for, I think the extension of a patio outside. Is Dr. Ziegler on?
This is Todd Schonbacher with Greenscapes. I don't know if my camera's on.
It's not Todd, but are you here representing Dr. Ziegler?
Yes.
Great.
We will be the company doing the patio with a, it's got a small, like a gazebo structure over it at the back of their whoops, I just went. Did you lose me?
No, we can hear you. You're still here. I think
Okay.
somebody were you sharing your screen? Were you trying to?
No.
Okay. I think
No.
somebody was trying to. Karen might be. Sometimes she likes to put up the application drawings.
It wasn't me, but I can.
Okay.
I can post that. I'll let Todd introduce the case first.
Yeah, go ahead, Todd. You can continue talking. And if you have if you can turn on your video, that would be great. If that's not possible, it's understood.
Oh, wait, right there, start video. There we go.
There you are. Yay, it worked.
That's better. Yes, I was proposed a small patio with a roof gazebo structure over it at the rear of Dr. Ziegler's practice that was going to be used for like an outdoor area for congregating people to do outdoor euthanizations.
Okay, so not okay, very good. I'm assuming the use of this patio, that the time of it would be sometime during the already established operational hours of the vet hospital.
I would assume
you guys
so,
hear
yeah.
me?
Yep, I can hear
Yeah.
you, Dr. Ziegler.
Okay. Yes, it would be used during our regular operational hours.
Yeah, that's great. Welcome. Thank you for
Thank
joining.
you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I really don't have any other questions. Do other board members have questions?
I really don't. Seems pretty straightforward. It's a nice looking patio.
It is. Since the purpose, or at least one of the purposes, was identified as outdoor euthanization, is there any, I don't even know how to ask the question, any aspect of that procedure that we should be aware of in terms of potential impacts or effects on neighboring properties?
It shouldn't affect anybody. We're just simply with COVID. Unfortunately, it's made it very apparent that we need an outdoor place where a whole family can be present rather than being everybody crammed into a small room, just for my staff safety, for the family safety. And certainly we don't want to deny family members from being with their pet at their last moment. And so we're just looking for a beautiful Zen-like area rather than be doing it in cars in the middle of our parking lot. You know, this is something that I've always wanted to do, but COVID has certainly sped along the process.
Okay. All right.
Is there a number that's going to trigger its use?
I really think it's just going to be an option that's presented to people, you know, because Sometimes people don't want to be in a sterile environment of a hospital. So, Todd is going to make it look beautiful, and we'll have flowers and probably some statues and just Zen-like, if you will, something peaceful and beautiful, so that that last memory can be something special.
Is there a fence? I'm looking at the drawing now. Is there a fence that would go around it? I guess the only comment I really have is some passerby, especially in that neighborhood, small children, being able to accidentally share that moment, and it being visible, I don't know, from Clinton Street or from a backyard or an area that we may not be thinking of, that they would be able to see this and just have it being a traumatic moment for them.
So the way that our property is set up, we're kind of in the back area, if you face the back of our hospital to the left, we have a large fenced in area where the dogs go out to exercise.
Yeah.
And then this area where the gazebo is, there's kind of like just a natural alcove, I guess would be the best term. There's a hill, and then there's Tagliamonte construction. So this is just naturally already hidden, if you will. So it's a perfect private little area. And so I also am planning on putting up some weather curtaining, if you will, around the gazebo as well, so that we can make more use of it than just on a sunny day. And so, if people want privacy, we can curtain off the area so it's not visible to anybody, but just the way that the land is set up and this area is set up, it's already a really private area.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and
Okay.
the back of your property abuts, I believe it abuts the substation, right?
Correct,
Yeah,
yes.
so you don't have any residential properties abutting the back of yours.
Correct.
That's all, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know. So it's a secluded area to begin with that you kind of got to be going out of your way to
I don't even
get
know
to.
if you, I don't even think you can physically get back there, even as a curious young kid.
I don't think you could.
No, because you've got the substation there, and you have to get around Tagliamonte, which is not doable. And then on the other side of them, it used to be called I don't know what it's called now.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes. But quite honestly, Dan, we've been doing this regardless of the gazebo. There's a picnic table in the back. And we, through the pandemic for the last 2 years, we have been doing this in the back, not nearly as of a nice, serene place that I'd like to provide for my clients, but we have been utilizing this space already and have never had an issue with lack of privacy.
Okay. I mean, like I said, I know what I guess my kids were like, running around backyard to backyard. I assume it happens in every part of, every neighborhood, every village. So I know it's a stretch, but just to be mindful of, who else is around and some young boy or girl experiencing that without their family around.
Sure.
It's a very sunken in, secluded space with the hill and the power lines and everything else. And with any landscaping, decorative grasses, shrubbery, everything else to try to make the hillside a little bit more attractive in general. It's always been kind of a back entrance, so this is going to really enhance the area in general. But we'll be, adding some accents, some natural tall grasses.
Yeah, I know it'll be first class, Dr. Ziegler.
Yeah, it's going to be very nice, and we don't, we like to make things super nice for people. So,
Mhm.
like Jane said, you'd really have to be going incredibly out of your way to even stumble onto the area,
Mhm.
let alone figure out what's happening. Plus with the, like the decorative curtains or screening curtains are going to be up. You literally have to be wanting to walk in the back door to even see what's going on. So with those accents that Dr. Ziegler was adding, it's really just going to make it super nice.
Understood.
Thank you. Does anyone else on the board have a question for the applicant? If not, I'm going to make a motion that this application be considered a type 2 under the seeker review, and therefore no further seeker review is necessary. Do I have a second to that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Do we have a motion for the application itself for the site plan?
I'll make a
Oh.
motion.
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the site plan as submitted.
And I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Ziegler. Thank you very much, Todd. We appreciate your time.
Thank
Thank
you
you for the
guys
nice
very much. I
presentation.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Nice
All
job on the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Good
Todd,
luck.
this is Mike Jones. Come see me
Yes.
for the permit.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so the only other business on our calendar for tonight is approval of our meeting minutes. I have some minor edits, some grammatical edits that I'd like to submit to Karen. I was in the process of doing that right before this meeting, and I can finish that up. But other than that, I don't have any other comments about the meeting minutes. Anybody else?
No,
All good. Okay, then do I have a motion to accept the meeting minutes as drafted?
I'll make a
With-
motion to accept the meeting as drafted with comments to provide, Jane.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, wonderful. All right, our next meeting, my goodness, guys, I think this is going to be a record. It's not even, our next meeting is next month, February 3rd. And,
Actually, that's wrong. It should be February 7th. I apologize. I changed the
Oh.
date on the agenda. It's actually
you for
February
that cor-
7th.
it is February 7th, which is, as always, the first Monday of the month. Thank you for that correction, Karen. And the application that is live, but not before us tonight, is the Northwood Real Estate Ventures, otherwise known as 547 East Genesee Street. I do think we should anticipate some revised materials from them to review before our February 7th meeting. And I don't have any other news. I think based on what we know today with respect to the continued spread of COVID, we should expect to have a Zoom meeting next month.
I will find out if that is extended, that option. Right now, it's,
Yeah.
I think, set to expire shortly, but as it gets closer, we can make that determination.
Yeah, so Karen will keep us apprised. I totally anticipate it will get extended. It has been now. So I just think we should all be prepared for that, but stay tuned. And we'll keep you apprised of what to expect otherwise. Any other, Dan had a good question at the beginning of today's meeting. So Dan, why don't we talk about that right now?
Sure. The question was, as far as North Burdick Street, the proposed project on North Burdick Street, or the project that we approved on North Burdick Street. The question was whether or not, of a few aspects of it, but whether or not there was a time frame on the applicant having to act after we've approved the site plan and at least start the process of developing the property. And the other thing was whether or not we had made a stipulation that the applicant also had to, not just tear up the property, but actually have it look somewhat presentable anyway. But I think that was a stipulation we had done when John Goodfellow was involved with the project.
Yeah, and Dan, I think you raise a good point in that. Gosh, I don't even remember how many years ago we finalized that site plan approval and nothing's been done. So I know, Karen, you'd mentioned that they have received some permits along the way, but I do think we should, brush the dust off of that one and find out when was the last time they sought a permit for any activity on that site, get the actual date of the final site plan approval, and so that we can understand, I guess, where we all stand with respect to that site. I am not suggesting at this moment that the site plan approval is, expired. I just think we need to look and consider it and make a decision on its effect, whether it's still considered in good stead or whether it has expired and we need to hear from the applicant before anything can be done.
And I guess on similar lines, what's going on at the corner of I guess High Bridge and Genesee across from the UPS store?
Yeah, that application got denied by the Board of Trustees. So nothing's going on there. There's nothing live.
But didn't some of the asphalt get dug up and is in kind of a pile on the corner?
Whether the site is in good condition or in derelict condition is a great question, but that solution resides with Mike Jones.
Mhm.
Lucky Mike. But my understanding is the application itself was denied and therefore there's no live application on that site. Nothing's been proposed since then. So same with the site where the old Fayetteville Inn was. That's also quiet. Nothing going on.
Yeah, but at least that's kind of grass. And
Yeah, it looks decent, right? I agree. Mike, do you have any information on the corner of
High Bridge and
Bridge and
Genesee.
Genesee.
yeah,
Nothing new.
okay.
I don't know why they dug that tarvia up and left it like that. I have no idea.
But isn't it their responsibility to clean that up?
Well, it's their property. If you want to have a pile of something in your yard, who's to say you gotta remove it? Whether it be tarvia or, I don't know, dirt. We can control the weeds. Splitting hairs on other stuff, I don't think we can just totally make them grade it off and plant trees or, grass
Okay.
or pave it. Hopefully they come back to the drawing board or sell it.
Well, it was, I guess they, the only reason why I'm bringing it up is they obviously did something for some reason, and it looks worse than it did before.
Maybe that was the reason.
Say that again?
Maybe that was their point.
Is to make it look bad?
I
Short
don't know.
approval.
That's
My
right.
guess is was environmental work. They were trying to get some soil samples.
Do they need to tear it up that much for soil samples?
Could be, depends on what's there.
Okay.
It was a dry cleaning site there, so
Yeah.
that's a red flag for any property transaction.
All right. Well, I think the one area that we do definitely need to get a handle on is the property that's on North Burdick Street, because it's been quiet. So is the site plan approval, and we got to find out if it's expired or not. What we want to make sure about that, make sure of that. So
Let me call the owner on that property just to find out what's going on. I'm sure it's related to box retails, properties, investment sales down because of COVID or whatever, But let me give Mark a call and find out what's going on.
okay. Anything else, board members?
I think so.
Nope.
Okay, well, very good then. I wish you all a happy new year and carry it through for at least another month. And I guess a good evening.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second that motion. Aha. All in favor?